Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to just quickly talk about some affirmative defenses that you can use when being sued by third-party debt collectors. And I'm getting ready to do some classes where I'm going to invite all of you to Zoom meetings where we could just do this all together, where you could just, because there's so many people, probably hundreds of you are contact me every day about a third-party debt collection lawsuit, and we just cannot take on everyone. I would have to have like 1,000 employees doing this stuff. But let's talk about it real quick. When you are being sued by a third-party debt collector, they can't just come to you, and if you don't allow them to, they can't just come walk in, say, here's a court summons, here's two statements, final statements that you had from the original creditor, here's the amount, here's an affidavit that says that we bought the debt, this debt portfolio, it's all said and done, you lose, pay us, garnish, freeze your bank account, do all that stuff. That they can do all of that if you do nothing. They can do all of that stuff if you do nothing. But if you do something, they can't do that. You need to challenge them on every part of the debt. Now, the hard part is that some of the times you don't know what you need to challenge, and you can get yourself into, I don't want to say into trouble, but you can actually mess up your case by starting to quote different laws and different court cases that were settled in the defendant's behalf, and you don't really know everything about how that whole case went down. And then you open up the door for them to be able to throw in other cases that say that a judge in another area said that ruling shouldn't have been a ruling because of this and that. What I tell people to do is just stay straight with what you can prove, which is by the documents that they give to you. So see, think about this. When you are fighting a third-party debt collector, you fight against what they provide to the court. Don't open up the door and invite other documents in there that they didn't even put into your case. So every case is different. So what I tell people to do is review your documents. Some of the times they don't even provide an affidavit showing that they purchased the debt. And even if they did provide an affidavit showing that they purchased the debt, it doesn't have your name on it. It doesn't have a complete account. It doesn't have an account number on there. And then to go a step further, you never had a complete account number on 99.9% of the cases. And then they never connect your name and your account number to the portfolio. And if you want to have a full review of the portfolio, you can tell them that you want them to prove their claim by seeing what they paid for the portfolio. Yes, you can actually ask that. And yes, that's the documents that they provide to you. So that's how you fight back against them, but it's depending on what they give you. So on most of them, let's just talk about what I see with most of the cases where people send us their court summons, is that we will see where the debt collector will say, you owe us this money, and this is the amount, this is the last four of the account number, and we believe that and they'll have the two statements. They'll say Exhibit A is this statement, and Exhibit B might be another statement. Exhibit C might be the affidavit that they purchased the debt. That's what I see with like 99%. Some of them may go into more detail, trying to say that you enriched yourself to try to make it look worse to the judge while they're looking at it. But let's just go with what we mostly see, is that they own it, assign whatever, and that there's an amount, and then there's the last four of an account number, and then they're saying, and they have the statements and the affidavits. You can tear all of that stuff apart by saying, number one, on the affidavit, does not show your name, does not show an account number, doesn't have any information about you on the affidavit. It just says that they purchased the debt from the original creditor. Also, when you look at that document, see if that debt collector actually purchased it. You will see that with a lot of the portfolio companies, another company purchased it, and then it was passed on to another third-party debt collector. So the portfolio company purchased it, and some of these portfolio companies are the actual debt collection companies themselves, but they set up another entity to buy the debt. It doesn't matter. That even helps you even more. So when you're preparing your response, first thing, I'm just going to read off of one that we did right here, is that you want to see a letter that allows them, the third-party debt collector, and if it was a portfolio company in between, show me a privacy letter with your signature allowing them to even see your private data. You want to get that. Now, you might be saying, well, they purchased the debt and then it gets to go right over to them. That doesn't matter. You want to see a letter stating that from the original creditor that said that they can allow people to see your private information. And you know right now that that's one of the biggest issues that's going on globally, is that the sharing of people's private information. You can't even, in the state of Illinois, you cannot even do facial recognition on someone without them signing off on it. They just had a huge lawsuit. Even with the apps like Facebook and Snapchat, they got sued in the state of Illinois because they were using facial recognition with their technology just for utilizing their app, and they got sued. So why wouldn't you be able to say, I want something showing me that I gave you access to my private information, and even if it has to come from the original creditor, I want to see that document. Remember, we're using their information against them. The next one is the agreement with the plaintiff. Show me the contract between me and you. Between you and the debt collector. Show me that contract. Now they're going to say, well, we purchased the debt. Here's the affidavit. So that goes into our next thing. So they're going to say, well, we have this affidavit. So on that affidavit, no name, an account number. No, your name and account number is not going to be on that affidavit. That's very important. I know that might seem very subtle, but that's very important because aren't they trying to prove a case? They're trying to prove a case. So if they don't have your name and that complete account number or an account number, it's never going to be on there. I've never seen that. And then on that affidavit, remember what I asked you to make sure of is that affidavit, does it show that it's from the debt collector that's suing you, or was there a debt collector that was on there before and then it was passed on over to them? If it is, you're gonna have another request for privacy. You're gonna have another request for the contract because they have to prove from that other third-party debt collector a contract with you, because how can they sell a contract to another debt collector if they didn't have a contract with you? So make them prove it too. So you're just going to be doubling up. And then with the affidavit, if the affidavit has both of them on there, okay, that's fine. So the next thing is, where is my name? Where is my account number? The next thing is they may have a bill of sale. They'll have a bill of sale where it will have the original creditor, someone, vice president from the original creditor, where they're going to sign off. Pay close attention to that. On that bill of sale, it will always say that they don't guarantee. Let me do this. There's no guarantee. They make no guarantees that the portfolio is 100% accurate. That's very important. They may not say 100%, but what they'll use words like, if there's any errors, if there's any omissions, if there's any issues or whatever, the debt collector assumes all responsibility. So off of their own document, what you can ask them is the portfolio 100% accurate? That you want a document from them stating that the portfolio, listen to my words, the portfolio is 100% accurate. The portfolio, listen to my words. I'm not saying your specific account. I'm saying the complete portfolio. That's what you're asking to see if it's 100% accurate. The next thing is you want a true accounting of the whole account. That means that whatever the alleged account amount is, on this one here, it was for $12,000. You want them to show everything: the payments, the credits, interest rates, rewards, any disputes, whatever. You want a full accounting of that complete account, of that alleged account, and you use those terms. A complete, true accounting of it. One of the things that you do when you do that, you're going to see that the original creditor can't get all the documents. If they are able to do it, they're going to probably send you a stack of documents, and then it's still, they have to answer to the rest of these. So any of these points can get your case dismissed. The next thing is that you would want to ask if the original creditor filed a 1099-C. You want proof. You want a document from the original creditor to the debt collector signed, proving that a 1099-C cancellation of debt was not submitted to the IRS, because then if it was, it would be double jeopardy. Now, let me tell you one way, and this would be a document that wouldn't, get you to where you're opening up doors on stuff, is on your credit reports. They will have a spot in the comment section. Let me erase here just to show you should have brought up a credit report. So on your credit report, you'll see the account number, and then you'll see the history of the account. It'll have the months, and then either right above it or right below, you will see a comment section. And in that comment section, you need to watch for the word cancel. If you see the word canceled in there, it could be a high probability that your original creditor filed a 1099-C. And you would be able to use that document on your credit report as a supporting document to say, I believe that it could potentially have been a 1099-C filed. If it doesn't show that on your credit reports, then you don't need to introduce that document, but you can still make the request. That's what you could do to just add another part to your affirmative defense. Now, some of the other things that I've seen is that, especially with these lending clubs, they'll have multiple lenders on there. Like I've seen one time I saw one that had like 25 lenders. So it's like you had the lending club, and then it's like they have all of these other companies that are attached. And then you'll see where lending club signed off on the sale of the portfolio, and they did a power of attorney on all of these other companies that were listed in there. When you see that, you should ask for each company. I know it can be long. We've had to do one, and one of that we did was like 10 sheets. I can't believe all of these companies are involved in this, and they had to have a power of attorney signed off from Lending Club for all of them. But you should ask that each of those lenders, or who I forget, however they're arranging these clubs, you need to make sure that none of them filed a 1099-C. Because if they're just think about it. If all of these companies are either pooling money together to make loans, or they make a loan and they're the arranger of the loan. I don't even know how these are working. I can just tell you that it's a weird mix of companies. I've seen trust in there. I've seen banks be listed. I've seen what hedge funds listed, like a whole bunch of different types of entities that are putting their money on the street to be lent. And any one of them, if they're not paid, the loan goes bad. Are they just doing a writing off part of it, or are they writing off all of it? It's kind of unclear. So what I've done is I've just said, even if it's just lending club and then they sold it to a debt collector and they did a power of attorney signature to release for all of these other lenders that are on their lending club, I say you still make every one of them sign a statement saying that they did not file a 1099-C cancellation of debt, because it would benefit them if they did it. It's not like you're saying it because it doesn't give any benefit to the original creditor. If the original creditor does that, they get to write off 100% of the debt. They're saying that they haven't done anything and that they want 100% credit for that debt that they're not going to be paid. If they sell it, it goes into another category, because in essence, they're accepting a payment. Even if it's smaller, they're accepting a payment for that debt. So, I mean, that's my understanding of it, and that's how it's been working. We've gotten a lot of people where they gotten dismissed based on the 1099 or based on this information that's right here. So I'm gonna end the video here, but watch for an announcement. We're gonna start just having like lessons on how to do this. We're gonna just do big groups at one time, and go step by step on showing you how to do this so you can fight back against debt collectors. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes us different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. Grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations, debt validation, cease and desist collection activities letter. Use those letters to stop debt collectors, and it has instructions on there, so use the one that's appropriate for your situation. I do ask for a donation. It helps me for my time making the videos. Thank you for your time. Please like this video. Please share. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.